here with the commercial development manager of Westham Club, who has selected a goalie, the first ever goalie from India in their ladies team. Fantastic. Thank you for your time, first of all.
No problem.
Why did you select Aditi Chauhan?
I think there's a few reasons really, and I've had a few conversations with the chairman of our ladies team who's been very complimentary about Aditi. I think first and foremost at West Ham United we try and recruit the best players, and Aditi as an international footballer is one of those, so she was a clear standout choice from that perspective. I think second of all we like to recruit good characters. We know that Aditi is a smart young lady. She's obviously spent a lot of time at Loughborough, and we know the guys up at Loughborough very well. We know that it's a good programme, and she'll have built some good character there. So I think that's probably the second reason. I think the third is at West Ham we like players with ambition, and we like players that want to learn. And our academy has got a very clear philosophy of teaching players the right way to play football, and we're always keen for players to continue to develop and continue to learn. So the fact that she's left her home country obviously to further her ability in the game is great news for us, so we're really happy to have her.
Yeah, it's I spoke to her, and it's quite an inspirational thing for her to be within a year to be in a club as sought after as yours. What do you think her future is?
You know, it's difficult for me to predict the
from
future.
Here, in the sense, from
for
where
her,
it could go.
I guess the only thing I would say is she's come to a great club, and you know she's in the right league, and she's with a club that will allow her to develop and will give her the tools that she needs to further her game. So I think from that perspective she's got a great opportunity, and hopefully she gets the chance to continue with the Indian national team, and I'm sure she'll be in the headlines for many years to come.
Yes. Did you expect the attention that you did after choosing her? Because you've together, both of you and the club and Aditi have made history almost.
Absolutely, and you know it's been a great news story for the club, and I think we're very well aware at West Ham of the potential for football growth in India, and India as a market for football in general. So I wouldn't say we've been surprised, but it has been great to have such good will and good feeling coming from our fans in India and indeed across the globe from people who have noticed the news.
You mentioned potential of football in India. Where do you see it going, and how do you assess the market now?
I think it's a great time to be in India as a Premier League football club, and here at West Ham we're doing a few things to assist in that. So we've got some great community activity going over there that's run by the West Ham United Foundation in conjunction with the Premier League up in Calcutta. We've got some great engagement on our social media and digital platforms where Indian fans are continuing to engage and continuing to grow in their number. How
do you see football amongst the Asian, specifically Indian crowd here in the UK? Because we don't see many players coming forth in the front line.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously, being in the London Borough of Newham, one of the most diverse in London, engage with lots of young Indian boys and Bangladeshi boys in our community programme, and I think there is a lot to be said for starting with those grassroots programmes and looking to develop talent from an early stage and giving those boys in the UK a chance to play football. I think back in the Indian market there's certainly a lot to be said for the continuing development of the I-League and obviously the ISL, which recently has been incorporated. So there is some work to do, as you said, but I think lots of those initiatives, both here in the UK through the football clubs like West Ham, but also back in the domestic Indian market through the ISL and the I-League, should see that start to change over time.
Okay, the last one now, on the rating of 1 to 10, how do you rate the Indian market for football? How susceptible, how lucrative it is for you?
That's a pretty tough question, and I think I'm going to sit on the fence and not really put a number on it. What I would say is, and I know this through various conversations with the guys at the Premier League, that there certainly is significant growth there. So you know, whilst it might not be at this moment up at a 7 or 8 or a 9, it's certainly on the right path, and that's great news for us, because as a club who's competing for share of voice with other teams in the Premier League, markets like India where there's substantial potential for growth are really, really attractive to us.
Yeah, fantastic, because we do get threatened a lot by the religion of the country, which is cricket.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I'd be silly to sit here and say that we can compete with international cricket in the IPL at this stage. But as I said, I do think that landscape is shifting slowly. And you know, with the younger generation coming through and having to decide who their team's going to be for the rest of their life, you know, with the various activities that we've got going on, hopefully we can persuade a few of those to become West Ham United fans.
Brilliant, absolutely. Thank you very much and all the best. West Ham is engaging with India, and the start, of course, is that Aditi Chauhan has become their goalie in the ladies' team. And the very fact that Aditi has gone and chosen a game like football goes on to show that in India as well, the game and the popularity of the game is on the rise, possibly not yet contesting very much with cricket, but on the right path, as Scott says. Thank you.
Thank you very much.